Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you find yourself watching this. My name is Grace, and I am one of the exercise physiologists here at the University Fitness Center. And today I'm bringing you some chair yoga. This week is Active Aging Week, and we're celebrating it through some mindful movement. And today I am going to bring to you a few poses that are basic, yet they allow you to move into that space to be present and mindful. So go ahead and find your comfortable seat. For me, it's always been Sukhasana. If you have a chair at home that has arms or back and you're more comfortable with that, please use those. Make sure that you have the space to push it up against the wall in order to be more safe. And then for me, I like to use a stool because it allows for me to move in every direction with a little bit more ease. So go ahead and find your seat. Make sure you're grounded, rooted into your supported chair, and go ahead and breathe into that space that aligns you straight up and brings you back to the present. So hands either resting on the top of your legs, on your waist, or dropping down to your side, whichever is most comfortable for you. Find that seated position, and we'll go ahead and begin to breathe. With each inhale, you breathe through your nose, and exhale just a little longer. Here we are able to tap into our restful state. Notice where your thoughts were as you began. Observe your breath as it rushes in, fills your nostrils. And with a little bit of an audible sigh, you exhale. Go ahead, inhale again. Exhale. Release away any tension you may be holding. And begin to softly open up your eyes and be here. Welcome to this mindful movement, and we'll begin with some neck circles or head tilts. So on your inhale, go ahead and breathe in through your center, and then exhale, drop your ear down to your shoulder, creating space in the side of your neck. Inhale back to center. Exhale, ear to shoulder, opposite side. Notice how we keep a lot of tension in our shoulders and our neck. Inhale back to center, and then exhale one more time, drop it down, ear to shoulder. And begin to draw a line with your chin down to the ground while your ear is still tilted down to your shoulder. And then draw that same diagonal line up to the ceiling as you breathe in and breathe out. Inhale up and exhale, chin down. Good. Inhale back up to center. And inhale, exhale, ear to opposite shoulder. And then we'll go ahead and tilt chin to the floor, up to the ceiling. Inhale up. Exhale down. Good. And inhale back up to center. All right, then we're going to just look right and left. Big no. Again, finding movement in our neck. Feeling a little bit of a twisting torque movement throughout. Good, and then back to center. Awesome. All right, so we'll go ahead and go into those circles. We'll go all the way around, and if you find yourself a little bit on the dizzy side or experience vertigo, you can go ahead and gaze straight out in front of you and then pick some point on the wall, and don't lose sight of it. And allow the base of your neck and the back of your head drop towards your upper back. And then half circle all the way around. Good. Come back up to center. Awesome. From here, we're going to go into some twists with our spine. So same thing we were doing with our neck, we're going to do now all the way down to our torso. We're going to take our opposite hand, meaning my left hand to my right knee, and I'm going to inhale, exhale, reach and twist, bringing the other hand behind me and placing it on my torso and looking behind. Take another deep breath in and out. And then back to center. Breathe it in, breathe it out. Twist to the other side. So right hand to the left knee, left hand to the back of the torso and twist, look behind. Take one more deep breath in. And breathe it out. Awesome. Back to the center. All right, into those side bends, just like we were doing with our head. Now we'll go to the side. Inhale up, overhead, and then exhale. Anchor this arm into your chair and lean over into a side bend. We'll go a couple more times. And then back to center. Good. All right, placing our feet flat on the floor. We're gonna go into cat and cow. So I'll face this way so that you can see what we were doing. We're gonna bring some movement into our whole spine for flexion and extension. Feet are flat onto the floor, and I'm bracing myself with my hands on my knees. And as I inhale, I arch out my back, open up my torso, look to the sky. And then exhale, chin to my chest, everything round. Inhale, look forward. Dropping my shoulders away from my neck and really creating space here in my throat. Chin looks up to the ceiling. Exhale, everything rounds. One more time, inhale, look up. And exhale. Make that bow with your belly. Broaden out your shoulders. Widen your scapula. And then come back to center. Inhale, nice and straight. Nice tall spine. We'll go through all those same positions again. This time we're going to go together. So we're going to twist. Inhale, exhale, twist to the other side, look behind. And inhale, back to center. Exhale, twist. I got a little bit of a crack there. Get back to center and place my feet down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, drop it down to one side. and center. Inhale up, exhale. Bringing some side bending. Good, and then back to that flexion and section, flexion and extension. Inhale, exhale. One breath per movement. Okay, so let's try that again. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. All right, inhale, arms up, exhale, drop it down, side bend. Inhale, exhale, side bend. Good, inhale, cat and cow. And then straight back up. So that was a 6-way spine stretch, going in all 6 directions that the spine can move, and then linking it 1 breath per movement. So that's what you turn a yoga or a any kind of flow, as they call it, or vinyasa, 1 breath per movement. So you could turn that into a warm-up with your spine, where you're breathing in and out and you're moving along with your breath. Okay, so we'll move along from here. We'll go into a simple sun salutation. So if you've seen a couple of my other videos, I did a Sun Salutation A and a Sun Salutation B, and they were a little bit more advanced because you don't use any props. You may use those, but for the chair, you can go ahead and follow along with me to do a chair Sun Salutation. Okay, so the options are limitless when it comes to yoga. So many modifications that we can make and do to bring yoga accessible to everyone. It's all about coming back into your body, your breath, your movement, and being present. So go ahead, feet flat on the floor. You're going to make sure that you're once again grounded and your root of your seat is on your chair. It's supporting you. We're going to inhale, arms go straight up in front of us, palms together. Look up to our hands, press maybe our palms together. Breath in, and then breath out. And what I do when I come down is I draw this imaginary line with my thumbs down the center of my body and then all the way down to the ground for Uttanasana, or forward fold for an intense stretch. As you inhale, exhale, fold over and just relax here for a second. Let everything drop and dangle. You can even let your head fall forward. Belly on your thighs. And I like to rest my elbows to my shins and my hands to the floor. And I just take a moment to breathe. On your next inhale, we're going to come up halfway, placing my hands on my knees. I inhale and press up. Using my hands to press into my knees allows me to use my arms as if I were coming into an up dog. And then exhale, release all the way back down to the floor again. This time we come straight back up and we draw this line with our thumbs, tracing our body all the way up overhead. Inhale, arms overhead. And then exhale, we release it all down. Bringing our hands forward and bringing our left knee first, pressing the right foot into the floor. We're going to do a stretch, nose to knee. Inhale. Drop my knee into my hand and then allow my shoulders to drop. Open up my chest. Look up. And release. Inhale, arms come up. And then exhale. Cactus the arms down. And switch the other knee. Nose to knee. Drop it down. Arch my back, look up. Breathe out. Exhale, everything comes to the floor. So let's go through that again. That was just one round of a sun salutation. It was a hands overhead for a stretch or an upward salute. Forward fold, halfway lift, and then forward fold, and then you can come back up into both sides for your nose to knee. So go ahead, ground those feet, align yourself to your center. Hands are in what we like to call Dandasana. Here we're seated though, so we could call this Utthita, which is chair pose if you've seen people in this position, or just simply in our own chair, so we can call it Utthita. Inhale, exhale. In Sanskrit, this moment right here is called samastitihi, or enlightenment, or simply the awareness that I am here right now and this is the movement that I've chosen. Go ahead, inhale, arms overhead, and exhale to the floor. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, back down to the ground. Inhale, draw that line with your hands all the way overhead, in, all the way up. And exhale, cactus those arms out wide. And drop them down. Inhale. Exhale, drop. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale. Nose to knee, opposite side. Exhale, drop it. And breathe. Inhale, arms come all the way up overhead. And exhale. Hands to prayer, to the crown of my head, to my forehead, throat. Good job. All right. So those are our sun salutations. So you maybe feel a little bit more heated or warmed up and ready to flow into a couple other poses that I've prepared for you today too. So the next one we're going to do is we are going to come into a warrior pose. So that's part of another sun salutation. For now, we're just going to learn them on the chair. Sitting nice and tall, grounding through your rear end, your ischial tuberosities, or the bony part of your sit bones. We're going to place our, I'm going to say my right leg, it's probably your left leg though, all the way out. And then I'm going to send this back leg, because I'm turning towards this leg that I've turned out, and I'm going to put it in a warrior one position. What do I mean by that? The foot is spinning down to the floor, heel to the ground, and I'm sealing off my whole foot to the floor. And I'm turning my hips so they're about 45 degrees this way. And then I'm going to turn my front knee that I would be bearing weight on if I didn't have my chair into the floor. Okay? Toes and heels glued to the floor. Strong legs. Inhale, arms up. And we stand and stand tall and strong. Exhale into here, this moment. Embrace your warrior. You look up to the sky. Press your hands together and then drop it down into prayer. This is also called Anjali Mudra, prayer hands. As you're here, you're not just like, here. We're pushing through our legs in these opposite directions. I'm inhaling and allowing my spine to grow as tall as I can. And I'm knitting my ribs in, and I'm twisting just slightly so my obliques are engaged, as well as my transverse abdominis. And you hold. Deep breath in. Release it out. Still here. Maybe you need to adjust your feet. We go ahead and inhale, arms overhead, and then we come out. into Warrior II. So in Warrior II, I like to think of my hands as the future and the past. So when we externally rotate our hands and our palms come up or supinate our hands and our chest opens up a little bit taller, our shoulders drop down into the sockets where they belong, and our palms are up. You look up to the sky and then slightly forward. In my backhand, I have the past, and in the front, I have the future. And then right here where my head lies is the center or present. On an inhale and exhale, we drop both by internally or pronating our hands. And then we allow ourselves to be present here, strong, being pulled in both directions, yet somehow steady. And then relax. I'm sure your arms are tired by now. Breathe. All right, come back into that warrior. We're going to go into a reverse where we just reverse. Left hand or back hand comes to the top of the thigh. Right hand comes up to the sky or ceiling, and we look upwards. And then we come down and breathe. Elbow to knee. We try to grow and broaden our chest out as wide as we can, pressing into that knee so our shoulders are extended and our fingertips are wide. Again, yoga is about creating space, so create space in the spaces between your fingers, the space between your neck and your shoulders. Hold for strength. And release. Back to Warrior II. And then 1. And then back to center. Woo. Good job, guys. Take a moment to breathe. Find that center. Or look back to the intention of why you wanted to start this practice again. For me, it was to learn more. Yoga has been incredibly useful for me as a tool to learn how to take a moment and stop. Notice where you're at, like in the middle of a warrior. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the other side. Now my left leg's gonna go out, my right leg is gonna extend back, sealing off the floor with my heel and my pinky. And I'm gonna go ahead and rest on my chair for support, because this is all about support and how we can still move within our own limitations. And on your next inhale, turn, rise tall, palms together, draw that line down to heart center. Warrior 1, Warrior 2. Look to your past, look to your future, come back to the center or your present, drop the past and the future, reverse it, look upwards, spread your fingers, and come down to your elbow, be as wide as you can. 2 breaths. We're strong. And we come back up to Warrior 1, palms together, and back to center. Good work, guys. Take a moment, breathe out. Did a lot. We're gonna do a couple more things. Let's try a Navasana pose. This time I'm gonna shift myself over to this chair, and I'm gonna use my stool here as help. So if you have 2 chairs or a chair and a stool, go ahead and get those out. And you're going to have a seat in 1, and we're going to come into Paschimottanasana, or this forward fold, which is a little bit harder to do when you are unable to get down to the ground, or you can also do it in your bed. But for here, go ahead and bring both feet up top, and for a moment we're going to find a little bit of rest. Flop our legs down to the side, and then with intention we're going to grow. Bring our toes together, lengthen our spine, bring our hands up overhead into this L shape, and then exhale our arms down to the sides. I'm going to grip onto the side of my chair, and I'm actually going to press into my chair just slightly, not lifting my bum off, but just extending my spine as high or tall as it can be. And just take a moment for length. Maybe point your toes. If you were a dancer or a gymnast, you would know to automatically do this. This is Dandasana. Okay, so inhale, arms up. Exhale, first drop the elbows, and we're going to come down and maybe meet our elbows by forward folding. Maybe your knees come up a little bit, that's okay. Reach to your toes. Inhale and exhale. We're going to do this one more time. We'll breathe in and breathe out. This time you can let your and it's okay if your knees bend. The point isn't to touch your toes with straight knees, it's to find length in your hamstrings, low back, and inhale all the way back up. We'll do that one more time, but this time we're going to go and grab our big toe if we can. Okay, so Virabhadrasana, or there's a hand to big toe. We go ahead and grab onto there. Inhale and exhale. Definitely feeling warmer this time. Again, these are just moments that we can breathe into this space. Discomfort and silence don't always go easily together, but it's often in those spaces, in those moments, and in those times of discomfort that we find something new. All right, roll this one back up this time. Spine comes tall. And a deep breath. Good job, guys. All right, we're going to come into a figure 4 position. One foot on the floor. I'll actually come to this chair. One foot on the floor, and then the other one is going to come up, and we're going to find a stretch here. If this is too much of a stretch for you, you can go ahead and grab your block or your box. I have a box here. That sort of looks like Krispy Kremes, but is not. Figure 4, or a hip stretch or a hip opening stretch here. Side blade or the side of your foot onto the box, and then allow this knee to drop down into the earth. If you would feel more comfortable with it up here, go ahead and do that. So we're going to come into this pose for 4 breaths. Breathe in and out. Find this moment to connect with your hip. Lengthen through your spine. And inhale, chin to the sky. Exhale. Back to center. Inhale, exhale. One more time on your next inhale, and then exhale. We're going to push this knee down a little bit further. Good job. And then switch to the other side. Again, if you need the box, it's here to prop up onto, and then drop that knee as wide as possible. And hold for 4 breaths. If you need a little bit more of a stretch, go ahead and grab that ankle and then breathe. On your next inhale and exhale, just a slight stretch more. Good, and then drop that foot down. Nice work. All right, so we're gonna bring that foot back up, opposite one, and we're gonna go ahead and find a little bit of self-massage, finding any tender spots maybe in your ankle that you might want to roll out or massage out. Go ahead with some ankle rolls. I'm going to find my opposite, or the same thumb actually. So left leg, left foot, left thumb, and find the solar plexus or the celiac plexus. It's here in your belly, but also located down here at your foot. And press in, breathe in, and exhale. Good. And then find some attention to your toes. Maybe warm them up if they're cold, or if they're hot now, just say good job. All right, switch to the other leg, other ankle, roll it out. And then again, same thumb, same foot, find the center of your foot or the arch, press in, inhale, exhale. Good. And then back down to your toes. Good work. All right, guys. We're going to come into Savasana. Actually, I lied. We're going to come into a seated forward fold where we have our head resting onto the stool, our seat on the chair. And I like to do a few minutes of breathing with my head down, facing this way first, and then we can end with Savasana, facing the other way, supine. So if this is too low for you, you can go ahead and find some more pillows to prop yourself up and just allow your forehead to come to the tops of your hands and relax on down. I'm actually going to turn it this way. And find that moment of solitude and rest. Sometimes in the crazy world, we need our brain to have silence. Not quite sleep, but silence. All right. Forehead to the floor. Coming to your pillow. breathe. Belly supported by your thighs. Forehead supported by your hands or the pillow. If you want to bring a little movement into your forehead to have a little bit of a forehead massage, that always feels nice. Breathe in, breathe out. Maybe you can adjust when you need to. And if you find yourself here looking for something or searching, just notice yourself doing that. Gather those thoughts and then come back to my voice. Slowly come up. Pillow behind you, and we'll come into supine, seated Savasana, propping up your legs to the height at least of your hips, a little lower if it's uncomfortable for you. Back supported by your chair. If you have armrests, go ahead and prop your elbows up so you can turn your hands out or up or down if that's more comfortable for you. Come back into your body. Inhale and exhale nice and slow. As you breathe, come to the top of your head. Feel the base of your head or the back of your head against the wall or the chair. Start to focus on the space between your eyebrows or forehead, down to your throat, the place where you greet and thank others. Down to your heart. To your solar plexus or your belly. To your pelvis or your sacrum. And to the root of your spine. To your thighs, your knees, and your ankles. Notice the quality of your breath now. Take a moment to think back to how you were feeling before this session. Did you set your intention? Did you change anything? Or maybe you feel the same, which is also fine too. Bringing some motions into your toes and your fingers. Back here. When you're ready and able, come back to the same seated position you chose in the beginning of class. And we'll bookend it here with a couple more deep breaths. Take a moment to monitor yourself. Rub your hands together to bring some heat. Swipe it across your chest. Bring it over your heart to monitor your heart and over your belly. Tall spine. Breathe in and out. Last one, inhale. Arms overhead and exhale. Thank you for showing up and moving with me today. I hope that you have found a little bit more movement as medicine. And if you have any other requests, allow me to help you out as I can. If you want to see any more yoga videos, keep on watching. We will keep providing those for you, and let us know what would be best for you. Thank you again. I hope that you feel supported. I hope that you feel peaceful, and I hope that you are encouraged as you move on and back into your life and world today. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Namaste.